versus marketing, because there's so much confusion out there. There is so much conversation about, well, I'm a brander, I'm a marketer, I'm an advertiser. I do specifically this. This is what I do. And I love the way that Gary Vee just talked about on his podcast yesterday, which was that it's all basically just sales. Like, it's sales unless it's your brand. I don't know how, he just described it so well. Let me break this down for you. When we are building a personal brand, it is so important that we're leveraging our thought leadership, our authority, our influence. What we talk about and who we are is our differentiator. It's our personal brand. It's who we are. And I find that this becomes so nuanced in my world of advertising and branding and marketing, and it becomes like a tit for tat, or I do this part but not that part. And most people don't care. They don't understand the difference. They just want sales, right? Like, I just want to sell my stuff that I need to sell. But the nuance is important. It's so important because I think the nuance gets forgotten. It gets left out. The nuance is that your brand is not just color. Your brand is not just your logo. Your brand is not Nike, just do it. Like, that is the brand of Nike. We all know Nike is Nike, just do it. But it's the essence of what and who they are that makes Nike Nike. That's the difference of brand. And that's the difference of, like, the difference between brand and marketing is, yeah, we all know that who Nike is. We know just do it. We understand, okay, that's the logo, that's a tagline. That's not a brand. The true essence of what they stand for is for athleticism, is for excellence, is for, that perseverance piece. That's brand. That's brand essence. That's what they're known for. And through that, they do marketing. They do advertising. They do a ton of advertising. Okay. So the core difference here, that us as business owners, it's like, I want to say you don't know the difference, but you do. You do need to know the difference. You need to know the difference as a personal brand, as a human in today's world, because personal brand is our most important asset. We are our asset. What we know, what our thought leadership is, what we can do, the transformation that we bring for clients, that is our brand. That is our ability to do, to act, to be. Let me give you another example. So I have a friend of mine who is actually multiple branding expert friends, okay? And they love to dig into why brand is not your color and your logos. Because it's true. That is a piece. It's a component. But I got on a call one time with somebody who said, oh, I don't need help with my social media because I've got my brand figured out. I always wear red. That's not it. That's a component of your brand, the colors that you wear or the color of your website. All of that is important, but that's not brand. That's not who you are. That's not going to be the thing that's going to do the sales for you. So what is brand? Why is it so important? So the way that Gary Vee was breaking it down, I really appreciated, because everything else is just sales. So marketing, advertising, all the things that we talk about is emails, where you're putting your stuff out. Are you doing direct mail, right? In the back in the day, like when I started media, we did out of home, a lot of money in out of home. We did a lot of money in TV. 90% of our budgets were in TV. We did direct mail, right? Digital display was a little I had somebody in media joke with me. Lupe, she said, Rhiannon, your digital budgets are like my rounding error. She later apologized for that when digital took off from TV, but that's where we were. Like, that is advertising. That is sales. That's talking about what you do. That's your product, but that's not your brand. And so the reason I think that somebody who comes from advertising, like I spent over 20 years in the advertising world. I bought media, I sold media. I understand audiences and how to find people. I understand how to create messages that will land and convert and sell. And I will gladly raise my hand when Gary Vaynerchuk says, this is brand and everything else is sales, and go, I like sales. Not a lot of people can say, I like sales. I do. It makes sense in my brain of how to get a message through and connect, and what the transformation is. What are we trying to achieve? That is sales. That's marketing. That's advertising. That is sales. That's not brand. That is not brand. Okay. I want to describe to you that brand is our why. Brand is our expertise. Brand is our thought leadership. It's like I was saying with Nike, it's not Nike, just do it. It's athleticism. It's pursuit of perfection. It is that drive that athletes feel when they're in pursuit of excellence. And that is brand. And so I want people to come to me to show them how to create brand and sales, because you cannot just be selling, right? You can't just be, this is what I do, these are the things that I deliver, this is what I can get done, this is what I do. It's like a resume. Resumes are more about what you do, what you've done, right? Like tasks that you have achieved at previous jobs. And that doesn't work anymore. What works is transformation, things that you do for clients, things that you help them achieve. And that transformation is what is now required on resumes. It's what's required on your website. It's required through your sales. It's all marketing, advertising, sales. But your brand is really who you are. When Jen Gottlieb, she's my dear coach, she's so inspirational. And if you don't follow her. She's fantastic. She talks all about being seen. She talks about having a personal brand. She talks about how important it is to have a personal brand. I mean, you name it. Alex Hormozy, Gary Vee, Jen Gottlieb, like so many visible personal brands are making impacts, are making differences, and they're telling all of us to do it. So that's what I'm doing. But the difference is, and what I want all of us to understand, is turning the camera on us is now the most important thing we can do if we want to sell something. You have to have a personal brand. You have to be talking about why, the what, the what makes it different. So let me give you another example. I have a client that I worked with. Her name was Kathy, and I helped build for her a coaching business, a coaching site, and a brand. And we named it Kathy's Love Magic. Okay, it was so good, so good. Kathy's Love Magic. And Kathy was Aunt Kathy. Like, she is the Aunt Kathy that you want to go have a drink with and ask her questions about dating advice and love advice. And what do I do, Aunt Kathy? This is what I want to be doing. Like, that is this like feeling that you get when you're like, Aunt Kathy, can we go have a drink at the bar? I really want to ask you some questions. Like, that's Aunt Kathy. That's Kathy's Love Magic. And that is the brand. That is what we built. I built for her to be able to talk about her her coaching business, her sales, and how she really helps people through the hard times, through the things that you need to learn. And that brand, yeah, it had a logo. Yes, it had colors. And yes, we created a vibe, Kathy's Love Magic, but it's more than that, right? What I really wanted to come through as, this is Aunt Kathy that I can go have a cup of coffee with, and she's going to explain the ways of the world to me and guide me and help me through. That's a personal brand. That is a brand. That's the essence. Okay. So when we're breaking down who are we as a personal brand, it's hard. It's really hard. It's hard to read the label on the outside of the jar when you're in it. It's hard for everyone, and especially me as a marketer. This was so hard. How do I explain what it is that I do? And so for the last 3 years, I have done so much done for you services. I have built out these websites for clients. I have built out email series for clients. I have upgraded their social medias and built out their sales pages, like full marketing. Okay. Revive marketing, 3 years marketing clients, also building brands. What is the brand essence? What is the colors? What do they stand for? But to do it for myself, it's so hard. To read the label on the outside of the jar when you're inside of it is really hard. So what are some tips? What are some things that we can do so that we can read that label, so that we can figure out what is our brand? And in marketing, we use terms like our mission statement, our values, right? What are these things that are core to who we are and what we stand for? And that's what creates our brand, because that's the essence. Once we can formulate that and really create, these are my core values, this is the mission and what I stand for, then it's so much easier to jump off of that point and say, okay, this is what my personal brand is about. So my personal brand is about helping business owners to make more money. Boom, so much easier. So much easier when I created that essence, that tagline, that more than a tagline, right? I help business owners make more money. So I do that using my expertise and my why, because my why is really that I worked in corporate for 20 years, helping huge corporations make more millions of dollars for 20 years, like helping that. And why? When I started helping actual humans, actual business owners, small business owners, I got so much more gratification out of helping people figure out how to monetize their expertise, how to take what they really know and turn that knowledge into income. So how do you do that? Is through, one, building out your personal brand. What is your brand? What is your thought leadership? What do you have a unique perspective on that nobody else does? That's a question for you. Think about that. Write that down. Message it to me, please. Some of you are on lives with me right now. Message me. What is the one unique thing that you know? And honestly, you could have 30 people that know it too. I talk about personal branding. There's a lot of people that talk about personal branding. But I'm also, in a unique way, tying it to business and business outcomes. So what is your offer? And then what is that offer ladder? And how are you getting sales, right? So it's brand and it's sales. So let me recap that again. Hi, I'm Rhiannon, and I help business owners make more money doing what they love. That's my brand. I like to guide you through figuring out what are those nuances of your expertise and how can we break this down into simple packages so that you can go sell it. Okay, so for me, I'm launching my free Influence to Income Challenge next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, for free, an hour and a half. I'm going to be breaking down these principles, breaking down the different steps of how to make more money using your influence, using the things that you know, using your authority to generate income. Okay. All right. So my brand and then my sales strategy, my offer ladders. So yeah, it's a free challenge. Am I going to be selling you something? Yes. That's this current economy. That's the way that it works. I need to give you something so that you can trust me. And then once you start to trust me and you know, like, and trust me, then you're more likely to buy something else from me. If I don't exchange that value and show you the trust, how are you going to know? How are you going to know I'm human? I think there should be like a rule that if there's an AI like person trying to sell you on something on social, that it needs to have like a disclaimer. This is AI. I am not AI. I am not AI. Right? So that's going to be our future. Our future is going to be AI bots talking on social media and selling us shit. That's going to happen. And right now, this is our opportunity as humans to lead the charge, to win, to float to the top. Yes, humans are going to win. So I am value exchange. I'm giving away my time for free Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday next week for education, a little bit of entertainment. I hope I'm a little bit fun, a little bit funny, and value. I want to give you value for an hour and a half. And will I probably sell you into the next thing that I do? Yes. Yes. Because that's the exchange. Like, I'm giving you my time for free. And I will teach you things. There will be nuggets. There will be freebies. There will be stuff there to learn. And then I will help explain the next part of the offer ladder, because that's what I want you to be doing. Okay. I want every single service provider, business owner. I don't care if you are a real estate agent. I don't care if you're a lawyer. I don't care if you have you're an accountant. Okay. You're a coach, you're a therapist, whatever it is that your service is. Okay, those are all service businesses. If you're a consultant, if you're a fractional, okay, every single service business should have a clear offer. Okay, so first was brand. This is my values, this is my missions, what I stand for. This is my brand, right? Then everything else is sales. Everything else is sales per Gary Vee. I love Gary Vee. I completely agree with him. So from the sales perspective, make it easy. Make it easy for people to buy. The more that you inhibit people from buying from you, they will not. So let me give you one last example as I'm closing out my live for today. Is so many business owners that I see are not listing prices. You're not putting prices on your website. And I get it. Look, I get it. I was afraid to. When I was doing Done For You, high ticket services, I was like, you want me to put that my package costs $10,000 on my website? What? Yeah. Yeah. You know, because people need to know that the package is going to be about $10,000. Now, I have a whole theory, a whole strategy, not just my theory. Lots of people do this. It's called price anchoring. It's a real thing. There's a downsell, there's an upsell, and there's a core offer. What is your core offer? My core offer was $10,000. Okay. And then I had a downsell for people who need a little less, and I had an upsell for people who need a little more. And those are the packages, and that's called price anchoring. That is absolutely what businesses do. And we should be doing that, more of that. Because the more transparent that you are about what your pricing is, the easier it is for people to buy. Because some people are going to look at your prices and they're going to go, not for me. And guess what? I'll tell you a secret. You don't want those clients anyway. Am I right? You don't want those clients anyway. So why are you getting in your own way and not putting your pricing on your website? Okay, so number one rule that I see so many clients, and I heard it last week. I was talking to somebody and they're like, Well, but each industry is different, and then each client wants these different things, and each person, and I've heard it all. I've heard all the stories, but you're making it harder for people to buy without putting price anchoring on your website. Again, you don't have to list all the details. This whole package gives this, and this whole package gives that. I, in fact, had a client that wanted so many details on their website. I was like, this is too much. You're explaining way too many things. This is too much copy. People don't care. They want to understand this is about what I get. This is the bullseye. This is if I need a little less, and this is if I need a little more. This is within my price range. Let me figure out what that first step is. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with that today. My big takeaway, please think about this and message me. Please message me. What is the one transformation that you give to your clients? Okay, and from that thing that you do for your clients, you can back into your why. You can back into your mission and your values. You should really be thinking about who it is that you want to be working with. So who you want to work with, what your values are, what your mission is, and what transformation you can give to your clients. That is the core structure of brand and your thought leadership and your expertise. And that's how you create influence. Okay, those are the core components when you're creating your brand. Once you have that created, everything else is sales. And that's where I can totally come in and help you figure out step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Let's get these steps going and let's get you more sales. But that unique perspective of who you are as your personal brand is going to be what sets you apart. That's what's going to get people to buy from you. That's going to get people to land on that website to go, is that pricing within my world or not? And then bounce the people who don't. That's okay. They're not for you. So please DM me, ask me questions. Next week on Tuesday, 11 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, I will be having a free challenge. Yes, I will be dropping knowledge. Yes, you will be getting takeaways on Tuesday via Zoom. So I have a link in my bio to sign up. And yeah, I will see you.